I thought I would kind of process through and let you guys in on kind of my mental process when I was thinking about a feeding tube.
Don't you think we're better together? Oh, I think we are.
I have no clue if Peter started the vlog, so I'm just gonna say good morning. We finished all of our morning stuff, and Peter actually edited 2 videos today. A special video coming on Monday, so tomorrow for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. It's a couple of stories we have never told on the Frey life, and it was funny. It was funny to like relive those, but anyway, he edited that, and then he has been working on getting things ready. We have an event at church tonight, so he's getting things ready for that, and also getting ready for church service tomorrow. So he's quite busy bee today. I, did all my medical stuff, got all my whatever, doing all my stuff I need to do to keep my body alive, and we need to get ready to go. So we'll see you guys later.
Hey guys, good morning and good evening. I heard Mary started the vlog earlier today. We had an event at church and just got home from that, and I've been getting ready for church tomorrow, and we've got snow coming tonight. Whew. One of those days where I've just been going. Mary's upstairs doing her vest, and it's actually kind of early for her to do her vest, but anyways, this is our little world and things on our mind tonight. But what's going on in your worlds? Leave a comment below and use 3 words to describe your world.
Hey Ollie, I have a very special surprise for you. Did you know that outside the door, yes, outside of our door, there's snow? I see her tail wagging. Should we go see? Let's go. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, Ollie. What do you think, buddy? Is that snow? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Ready? Oh, good boy.
Your hair is snow-kissed.
Snow-kissed
Was that
hair.
fun, Ollie?
Oh, that was so fun. We love the snow. We're gonna sit by the heater because it's like sitting by the fire when you don't have a fire.
Yeah. Okay, so I've been thinking about this time last year, and I mean, a lot was going on in our lives in general. I had a friend who was really sick. Then around the same time, that was when my doctor first brought up lung transplant, and that was also around the same time that we all decided that feeding tube would be a good thing for my body. And so I've just been thinking about that time a lot. And so I thought I would kind of process through and let you guys in on kind of my mental process when I was thinking about a feeding tube. So growing up, my sister had a G tube. She didn't have a great experience with it, so that influenced my mentality toward G tubes. And I know that it works wonders for some people.
Which, should I say, up until a year ago, in Mary's mind, when she thought of feeding tube, she thought of a G tube.
I didn't even know there was anything besides a G tube. So, and a G tube goes straight to your stomach. That's the difference. G goes to the stomach, gastric, and J goes to the jejunum. So, when I thought about my weight, my food intake, and nourishment in general, I was convinced that the best way for me to nourish my body was through eating, because I was convinced that a G tube wasn't very helpful, or it could be not very helpful. So for 27 years, I didn't imagine myself getting a G tube for various reasons. So then last year, we kind of got to this point where my weight was going down, my appetite was awful for various reasons. I have an enlarged spleen, which takes up a lot of my abdominal cavity. A lot of medications can make you nauseous. I was coughing a lot, which caused me to throw up. There are just a lot of reasons why the appetite was an issue.
Yeah, and Mary's always had issues with it, but throughout the years up till a year ago, she had always been able to maintain weight despite those challenges. And a year ago, we were seeing her weight dropping.
Yes. And so as my weight was dropping and my ability to take in calories was getting worse and worse, basically, my lungs were also getting weaker because they were fighting new infections, and my whole body needed more calories in general, and my intake was getting worse and worse. It was becoming evident that my body needed more nutrition, more intake, and I wasn't able to do that. So as a team, we started talking about a feeding tube, and I was like, yeah, let's give that a try. And in my mind, it was a temporary solution to this issue that my body needed more oomph to get through this kind of rough patch. And so we started with the NJ, the nasal feeding tube, because in my mind, having an NJ for 6 weeks would give my body kind of that push over that kind of low hump.
Yeah. Stabilize your weight, and then we could maintain it from there.
Right, that's what I thought we could maintain after that. So when we got the NJ, that was really difficult. And it caused pain the entire time that it was in. And for most people, that pain goes away. Although I know it can also be, maybe it's not most people that the pain goes away. Anyway, for me, the pain did not go away, which was a problem. And because of having the tube in my throat, and that can cause more gag reflex, I was trying not to cough, which is not a good thing for my lungs. So it was not good. And then I ended up coughing so hard that I threw it up. So then they placed another one. That one only lasted a few days. It was a whole journey.
If you're interested in that journey, we have a playlist called Feeding Tube, and you can watch some of that early journey of what she's talking about.
Right. The other reason that I was so, in my mind, kind of resistant to the idea of a feeding tube was that in my mind, the traditional feeding tube formulas didn't make a lot of sense. In my mind, I was like, my body needs good, like, nutrition and...
Bro, we're filming here.
Yeah. And in my mind, those traditional formulas were just packaged and stale and not good. That was in my brain. So when we were looking into starting with the feeding tube, Peter and I did a ton of research. And we researched different formulas and different options and all of this. Hey, Ollie boy, can you back up just a little bit? This reminds me of our first video we filmed.
I know.
Ah, okay.
Insert clip here.
Hey guys, it's been a week since we told you all.
Start over. I waved. Ollie, you're gonna need to stay out of the frame for just a few minutes, okay? Yeah, right. So we did a ton of research, and we found a formula that was made of real food. Like, in the ingredients, it literally said blueberries. Like, it was real food. It was called Kate Farms. And Peter went and ran to the store and bought this when we got to the hospital.
Like late at night, the day she got her NJ.
Yeah.
Right?
So I got the NJ, and he ran out and bought all this feeding tube formula, and like, my nutritionist okayed it and everything. And so we started feeding with that formula, and this was back in January.
Yeah,
it was over a year ago. I was on that formula for like 2 days, and in those 2 days, it was very obvious that my body was not digesting it. My gut was so messed up.
Her gut couldn't handle.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
And the other thing that was a bummer, this thing right here is an enzyme cartridge, and it's not compatible with the formula that I was trying. And we were like, that's okay, I'll take enzymes more frequently. Orally, I'll just swallow my oral enzymes. And I woke up, I set my alarm every 2 hours because I really wanted to give this formula a try. Like, I wanted it to work so bad. Because in my mind, it was the only option. I was like, definitely not gonna try a traditional formula. Well, I woke up every 2 hours for the first couple of nights, which was obviously not restful, and took my enzymes, and even with that, I was not digesting it.
It was bad.
I will say, and I can't believe I'm saying this on the internet, but I stank so bad. Like, I literally, the next nurse who would come in, I was like, can you please warn the next nurse that it smells like a dead animal in here? Like, my abdominal issues were so bad.
And she tried so hard to make it work.
I tried so hard. I was determined that this formula was going to be best for me. Well, then reality struck. My blood work tanked.
She was getting malnourished because of she wasn't absorbing the nutrients.
Yeah. So when my blood work tanked, we all as a team knew, okay. They were like, Mary, you gave it a good try. We need to try something else. And so at that point, I was like really weak. Like, I was really shaky. And I was kind of like, okay, whatever, I'll just try whatever. And at that point I was pretty discouraged. I was actually very discouraged because in my mind, traditional formula was not a good idea. Like, it's not accomplishing what I need. But in reality, fast forward a year, they tried me on the traditional formula. It works with the enzyme cartridge. I don't have to wake up through the night and take enzymes because the enzyme cartridge does the job. The formula gives me calories. I digest the formula. It gives my body the oomph, the nutrition it needs, and it's a traditional formula. There's no blueberries on the can. Like, it's not what I wanted in my mind, but I guess the couple things that I realized was, one, because I grew up with this mindset that the feeding tube doesn't work, I learned that there's something called a J tube where it bypasses the stomach. So some of those problems that my sister had experienced, like making her feel super full and like all of that. I'm not going to tell my sister's whole story. That's her decision if she wants to tell it.
Oh.
Thanks for the Post-it notes.
You wanted to bring us some Post-it notes? Thank you, buddy.
The J tube bypasses the stomach, so my stomach won't be full of formula. I'm not going to throw it up when I'm coughing. Like, those were some of the things that, in my mind, why a feeding tube wasn't a good idea.
Yeah. So here we are over a year later, and what's your takeaway from having a feeding tube?
My takeaway is I'm thankful that I got a J tube because
of your unique situation. Like, it's,
like a G tube works great for some people.
Yeah,
actually, probably most people.
Yeah, it's the like preferred.
Yeah. And I'm glad that it does work for some people. I think in my situation, I also have some like gastric emptying issues. Like, my stomach doesn't work like it should. And I just kind of had some weird things going on. And so when my doctor recommended the J tube, I was like, oh, there's another way. Awesome. Let's try that. And so, when I first got the NJ, it was a temporary solution as well. And in that time period, like even in those couple weeks that I had the NJ, I think that you and I were realizing, okay, maybe this needs to be a little more permanent.
Yeah.
And at that point, I wasn't safe to go through a J-tube surgery. And so a couple months later, my respiratory health was getting stronger, and we decided as a team, this is a necessary next step.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, well, my body's so weak that I need this, we kind of viewed it as, this is a tool that's going to equip my body to fight this fight as long as it needs to fight.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fix everything, but it's definitely helpful.
Yeah, we're thankful for this tool, and I think leading up to her getting a feeding tube, we said, if we come to that point where you need it, we're gonna figure it out and we're gonna do it. And I think that's kind of like our kind of philosophy for taking on a lot of the health stuff, but it's a tool and we keep moving on and we're thankful for it.
Yeah, and it comes with its own challenges. Yes, it brings nutrition and all of this, but of course, I've had feeding tube pain the last couple of weeks, and you deal with those challenges.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
As always, we will see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Sorry. Good night. Ollie.
And Ollie boy, come say goodnight to the people. Good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, buddy. Say goodnight.